Hello to everyone, travel hunters with you, Manon
and Alisher. And we are ready to travel to again amazing places in Kazakhstan.
So where are we going today?
Today we are going to Karaganda in central Kazakhstan.
So I've never heard that there are all tourists going to Karaganda actually.
Alisher, as always, you are not right. There are amazing places there, and I want to discover all of them. Actually, yes, actually, if we are lucky enough, we will visit amazing lakes, including one of them which has a very incredible legend. They say that this lake doesn't have any bottom. It also has a very scary name. It's called the Devil's Lake.
Why it sounds pleasant, the name?
Oh, actually, I forgot to tell you that this lake is located in Karkarali Mountains. But don't worry for you, but you know, we heard that some people already disappeared there.
Wow! Don't get rid of me?
No, come on, don't make it up like this. Who will wear my backpack if you disappear?
I really hope that I will survive and will be back alive.
Yeah, don't worry, everything will be fine. Let's go and hit the road.
Let's go there and let's have the travel.
Over these 2 days, we're going to visit the most interesting places in the city and its environs. We've decided to rent a minivan to have enough time to do it all. The rental was $200.
So dear friends, to see and enjoy the views of this Karaganda region, we have arrived to the Karaganda city, the legendary city of the miners. We've booked some nice hotel at the downtown and going to stay there a few days.
Actually, tour operators have offered quite the options, but before then, I wanted to come back on the name of Karaganda because it's deriving from the Kazakh language with the word Karaganda, right?
Yep.
Which means black blood.
Actually, I've never heard such an expression, black blood. I've heard about black gold, but never about black blood. It's something new.
Yeah, actually, I think it's something new for me as well. But when you think about it, maybe you can also call it kind of black gold. I know that in ancient times we could find a lot of coal in the area, and people say that even Karaganda was built on a mountain of coal.
Oh.
So it's quite interesting. And maybe, who knows, also coal can be as vital as for the nature as blood is for the human. Actually, when the nomads were traveling around the steppes, I mean, this is what people say, they were finding some kind of outcrop of coal, and that really looked like dry blood.
Oh, sounds scary. The first option sounds good and better for me.
Actually, maybe it just sounds like this, but it's not really like this. Karaganda is an industrial city, but it shouldn't be only this. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of beautiful nature spots, and I really hope we will find them all.
Oh, I'm so excited to see all these beautiful views of the city, for this legendary city of the miners.
It was easy to book 2 single hotel rooms via the internet. We were pleasantly surprised by them. We really enjoyed the soft beds after the long trip. Together, we paid $40 for the hotel room.
Actually, we just had unpacked our clothes, had a little bit of rest, and now we are ready to get acknowledged to the city, little by little. Actually, I heard here that when the tourists come to Karaganda, it is to undertake an excursion to the Museum of Death.
Yeah.
I understand it sounds a little bit scary, but I think it is a place we absolutely need to visit. I mean, if Alisher doesn't mind.
Well, we're definitely going to visit the Museum of Political Repressions, and we came here not to only chill and for the holidays, but to know and get the taste of the culture and to know the local history of this region and especially the Karlak as well. So, shall we go there then?
Yeah.
Entrance fee is symbolic, $1 per person.
The Karaganda Corrective Administration labor camp was built in 1933 by the inmates himself. This camp was administrating all the other camps all over Kazakhstan. The museum was then opened on May 31st, the day of remembrance of victims of political repression.
So the Museum of Karlak, the Museum of Political Repressions, consists from the 2 floors and 1 basement. In the entrance, there is the broken shanirak. Shanirak in Kazakh culture means the symbol of family, and it's broken and shows that during the Soviet repression time under the Stalin, the whole Soviet nation were in the tragedy.
Actually, you will find that a few meters from here, behind this column, there is the portrait of Stalin. And whatever the angle you try to look at the picture, you can find that his glaze and his look is following you. Actually, the most interesting fact is that no matter how the people were imprisoned, they were still praising him. And in this part of the museum, you can find extract of diaries. And in one of them, it is open on the page when one of the prisoners was very worried after he has heard about Stalin's death, telling, but who will continue the work of Stalin? Who will be in charge of his work after his death?
While we were looking at installations, a museum guide speaking in fluent English approached us and kindly agreed to escort us around.
Manon, could you imagine that nearly 70 years ago you could be sent to the concentration camp?
No, I just can't imagine it. How the people could end it.
So actually the people who were not framed to the policy of the government and the Soviet policy could be sent to the different concentration camps. These people can be researchers, scientists, politicians, writers.
I think I even heard that famous Kazakh personalities found the dead here, like Turar, Rizkulov, Second Seyfulin, right?
Yeah. The Stalinist machine didn't spare anyone and killed anyone. This sound was the signal for hard-working laborers and repressed people in the concentration camp in the Karlak. The signal the starting hard-working day and the signal of the long day.
We don't have official facts how many prisoners were shot in Karlak, but we found more than 3,000 people who were shot in Karlak.
The basement of the concentration camp, now it's just a museum of Karlak, is super realistic and super scary. The legend says that the head of the concentration camp put the documents for the 3 types. First, those who were killed by the killing. The first, the second for those who stayed here for 10 years, and third for those who stayed here for 20 years. I even can hear the voice of innocent prisoners who were killed and destroyed in Karland.
And when you look inside, all the content and materials provided, like pictures, photos, surveys, wax mannequins, and all the halls content are very realistic. And we could really project ourselves into this painful part of the history. A letter written in 1942 was really overwhelming for me. It was talking about an elevated rate of children mortality. And they told that in less than 2 months, 48 children had passed away. Considering that the center was operating for more than 20 years, can you imagine how many children died in this center?
Not far from the museum, we saw a memorial to the victims of political repression. We decided to spend a bit more time there to honor their memory.
Actually, I remember we have heard about another memorial which is not far from here and still linked to the museum we just have visited.
Yes.
But the people there told us that the representatives from different countries have come to establish this memorial to remember the people from their nations who have died in central Kazakhstan.
Yeah, exactly. There is one memorial here for the died French prisoners.
Wow.
And the French diaspora actually built this memorial, and it's written that France still cries and remembers their sons who had died in this land.
Wow. So who knows, maybe you and me are related, right?
Yeah.
Actually, maybe at the end it doesn't matter who you are. French, Jewish, Kazakh, Russian. At the end, what matters is that we are all people.
Having visited the museum, we returned to the city. There we decided to relax a bit and see how contemporary Karaganda residents live. There are a lot of interesting things to see, including beautiful fountains and modern quarters with multiple boutiques, coffee shops, and flower installations. Tulips are adored in Karaganda. You can see them everywhere. We found out that besides importing tulips from Holland, they also grow local varieties here. We noticed an interesting reminder to the locals written on pavement in front of a road. It says, "Hold your children's hand." We found it really creative and helpful. Every resident of Karaganda considers Independence Square the main place of interest in the city. It's the place where newlyweds go for a walk and make a wish near this obelisk. Although we are not newlyweds, we couldn't just walk past it. The city does impress us. There are a lot of park areas, large squares, and happy people. After the walk, we went back to the hotel to have a good rest. New adventures will await us tomorrow.
Alisher, we have to go. Wake up. Wake up. You know, while you were sleeping, I already organized everything.
It's earlier.
No, seriously. I organized everything. We have to go. I booked a room at another hotel in the mountains.
In that case, I'm ready.
Come on, let's go.
Finally, I'm awake, and right now we're going to the Karkalinsky National Park, which is located 220 kilometers to the east from Karaganda. So there are two options to get this national park. First one, by the bus, will take around 4 hours, and a car. And we hope, we are going by car, we hope to get there in 3 hours. Manon, why should I carry on this super heavy backpack?
Well, you remember I told you something in the car while you were still asleep?
Yes.
That I wish I will sleep in a tent.
Yep.
In this region.
Yep.
Well, I have a surprise for you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no! A surprise, do you mean like sleeping in this Karkaralinski National Park?
Yes.
Come on, I didn't sign up for that.
Well, you know, this is in the middle of the nature and the location is unique. Why not? Come on, let's do it.
Only today and only for you. I would say that this is an island of the forest in the middle of the Kazakh steppes. So beautifully refreshed, full of the real nature, and it's like a good time and perfect weather to stay probably in the tent today.
I agree. This area is just so beautiful and the air is so fresh. This is just an amazing area.
Yeah. And do you smell the fresh air? I would like to eat it.
Yes, exactly this one actually. I wouldn't say better than this.
We found ourselves not far from a tourist center. There we saw yurts where travelers are offered to have a rest and filling meal before conquering mountain peaks.
Tashkent plov.
So like plov. This is actually kumis. It's a horse milk. Consists a lot of vitamins. Refresh you in the summer hot. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's actually usually rejuvenating you and refreshing.
Yeah. That's a very particular taste though. I don't know if I will drink it every day.
Yeah.
But from time to time I think it's
Good. Manon, why we're living in the tent? You promised me that we will be living in the hotel.
No, you remember I told you in the car while you were sleeping. I used this opportunity while you were still asleep. It's going to be nice to have a tent like planted around the mountains.
At least we should be finding something like kind of yurt for us.
Yeah, it's true. The yurt. But I wanted to tell you about the tent earlier. It's true, but you know, I thought it would be a better idea. You know, we will be on the shore of the lake, like surrounded by the beautiful sceneries of this lake. I think this is great. You will have the mountains, the caves, the lake, and it will be even close by like very beautiful historical sites. So like the ancient Buddhist temple. I think I told you about it.
In these circumstances,
Please.
My Majesty forgives you.
Yay! Sleep in tent!
But we'll definitely should go to the Shaitan Kol, which just translates like the Devil's Lake, to swim there, or at least to measure the depth.
Okay, I'm totally in. Take me wherever you want.
Good.
Together, we paid $18 for a filling and tasty lunch consisting of national dishes. After lunch, we decided to continue our journey and met tourists like us on the way. By the way, the boys spoke fluent French.
And yes, of course, the Karkareli National Park consists from the two big mountains, Karkareli and Kent, and they create this national and beautiful forest.
You know actually that the name of Karkareli mountain is deriving again from a Kazakh name, or is inspired from the Kazakh language, as the Kazakh woman head chiefs are called Karkari.
Yeah.
Well, you know that already.
Yeah.
It's like this kind of hats which are covered with beads, silk, velvet and brocade, right? If I'm not mistaken. And at the top of it, I like the fact that they have feathers. And I heard also that Kazakh people say that the Karkari mountains are glowing like the rainbow colors, the same way that the Karkari does.
Oh yeah. And of course, a life hack. You should never forget to bring some spray from the mosquitoes here.
Okay, let's go then.
Oh, let's go then.
Let's go up.
Again, this backpack. I'm going to bring it.
I know, look, this rock looks like a sliced pie.
It's true, actually. It looks like a big cake made of different pancakes or something like this. I actually have read on internet it's called the Great Chamber.
Really?
And yes, actually, it has a width of 15 to 20 meters and 8 meters height. Can you imagine?
Wow. For me, kind of rocks will be a good shelter for those people who get under the rain.
Yeah, it's true. And actually, it's a good shelter not only for us, but also I think, and I have read, it can accommodate around maybe 50 people. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Shall we spend the night here?
No, it's the case for me, definitely. It's enough to sleeping at the shelter in this national park. Thank you.
Finally, we saw the legendary Shaitan Kol Lake not far from the rocks.
So we have finally reached the place of Shaitan Kol, which translates in Kazakh in the Lake of the Devil. It is located at 1,200 meters above the sea level, and I can tell you this is a very unique and picturesque place to visit. If you look around, you will see that the area is surrounded by great and huge rocks of granite, and the hills are covered with pines.
Wow. Looks and sounds so scary here, actually.
So actually, look at the rock there. I think the view shall be beautiful from there. Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go then.
Sounds good.
So Manon, there are a lot of legends how this actual lake was formed, and one of the legends says that this lake was formed during the war between Kazakhs and Jungars, and Jungars were overwhelming and winning Kazakhs, and Kazakhs started to pray to their spirits, and these spirits formed from these baturs, from these jigids, the rocks, and these rocks actually saved this Kazakh village. And this lake is actually the tears of the mothers. These died jigids and baturs.
Wow, that's a kind of side story, actually.
Yeah.
I have another one. Actually, the thing is that there was a famous Kazakh man who was from the village, and his name was, if I'm not mistaken, Baratur Kurturgen. And he went around the lake, and there's a beautiful girl who appeared on the shore of the lake, and she attracted him in the water, and once they reached the water inside the lake, she grabbed his feet and pulled him to the bottom. But Baratur was a very strong man, and he took the head of the witch and he opened it.
Wow.
And so he pulled up again the body of the dead, or the corpse of the dead witch, but actually she was not dead. And she came back to life, and she went back into the lake. The thing is that she's not dead, but she never bothered again Baratur. But since then, the people of the village are very scared of this lake.
Oh, I'm having the goose skin right now.
Yes.
It's so scary having
Yes.
all these legends around this lake.
I heard actually that the people from the village tried to call a priest and many other people to try to exorcise this place. Yes, because it had, after this story, it got the reputation of being kind of haunted, and maybe that a very evil spirit was living inside the lake. So the priest came and he tried to provide some rituals to the lake, so to purify the area.
Yeah.
And they pulled, I think, a tablet as well as a crucifix on the shore of the lake. And can you believe that after less than 6 months, they all disappeared?
What?
Into the lake.
Wow.
Yes.
So guys, we are going to measure the depth of this lake. It's a very simple way how we're going to measure it. I have a stone, a trap, 30 meters, and a wooden stick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the trap and put it around the rock and the stone, and then we'll see if we'll put it in the mid of the lake, and if it goes and stays, we'll see that it's like more than 30 meters. So guys, as you see, the stone went down to the bottom of the lake, and I actually couldn't reach it. It means it's super deep. So dear friends, the atmosphere around the lake, its color and the depth create actually the sense of horror and mysterious.
Well, actually, you know, I don't know if all the legends that we have shared are actually very true, because according to your experience, we could reach the bottom of the lake, right? So it has an end, at least.
Yeah.
But in any case, the energy from this place is really amazing. I don't know, I have no idea if I feel scared or if I feel amazed or if I just find this place beautiful, but it has a very special energy.
Exactly. It has some kind of its own beauty, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, and probably we are happy that we actually reached this lake, did this journey, saw this beautiness, and now living back home.
Yes, actually. I don't know if we will have a chance to see the stars even for that. I'm not sure if we should stay here
I wouldn't stay
any longer, and it starts to be quite cold as well. But it's really a place that we will recommend to visit to all of you who are coming to this region of Kazakhstan.
Having satisfied our curiosity, we started looking for a suitable place where we could stay for a night. A bit later, we found it. Let's sum up. Minivan rental, $200. Hotel accommodation for 2 people, $40. Museum tickets, $2. Lunch, $18.
So dear friends, last 2 days we discovered amazing parts of the region Karaganda, and also went to the historious museum Karlak.
Actually, we already love this region so much because we have walked about 20 kilometers, and I think one of my favorite parts was when we left the city to cross the steppe and reach the national park of the Karakali Mountains.
I also enjoyed the city, the big streets, and actually good food.
And I really enjoyed this Devil's Lake that we just visited now, and which really has an amazing energy to share with all the people here.
Yeah, and mosquitoes are ready to destroy and kill us, and it's getting darker, and it's time to sleep, and we need to say goodbye and see you in a week time.
See you in a week!
Bye-bye!